Hi, I'm Alan Long with Land Pride, and today we'd like to work on the setup and calibration of the Trimble Earthworks GO system on our Kubota by Land Pride BB3084. Let's go ahead and get started and we'll show you what we're doing. Alright, so here we are. We're going to start the assembly process on our BB3084. We're going to take the Trimble Earthworks GO system and we're going to install a few things. First thing that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to put the masts on. These do not come installed with the unit initially. These are an accessory that comes after the fact. So we'll want to make sure we get those mounted. They're held on by 4 bolts. It's a pretty quick setup system. And after that we can start putting the rest of our equipment together. Now that we've got our masts installed, we're ready to put our GO box on. The GO box is equipped with magnets here on the bottom of it, and it sticks firmly on the front of our unit. Next, we'll get the receiver and we'll hook the receiver up. All right, now that we've gotten the to-go box on there, we're going to put our receiver box on. The receiver box is also equipped with magnets, and we're going to put it right here on the plate that's part of the VCM. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to route the wire harness down and around through, and we're going to attach it to our wiring harness. Now your wiring harness should be installed with a plug to keep debris from getting into it. Just take that out, plug in our new one. Next, we're going to take our cable and we're going to hook it to our to-go box. Simply take off the caps. For quick and easy installation. The wiring harness itself is equipped with magnets so that you can route it along the frame and keep it up out of the way. Next, we'll put the receivers on the masts and connect them to our receiver box. All right, so next we're going to set up the receivers onto the masts. The receivers are equipped with a quick system. Simply open it up, put it on the mast, and tighten it down. Now we're not going to tighten it all the way up because we're going to be adjusting these back up to the top. Next, we're going to grab the cable and we're going to install it here in the bottom of our receiver. Want to make sure that we get a good tight connection on it. We'll wrap it around the mast a few times to take some of the slack out of it, leaving it fairly loose so that we can adjust it. These go into the top of the receiver box. Simply take the caps off. Pretty simple connection, right to right, left to left. Now we'll go ahead and do the other side, and then we'll come back and we'll work on calibrating them. All right, so now that we've got our receivers installed on the masts, the next thing we're going to do is get set up and calibrate to 0 with the masts. First thing we'll want to do is we'll want to set up our laser off of our work area within sight of the receiving lasers. Next thing we'll want to do is we'll want to make sure that we turn on power through the accessory switch, make sure that we've got power to our to-go box and to our receivers. Our receivers will flash red when they're not lined up yet. As we get this up into position and get it closer to the center line, this light will start to flash brighter and brighter until it becomes solid. Let's go ahead and do that now. Once it becomes solid, we'll just simply tighten the clamp and lock it in place. Now, the system has been set to 0 and we're ready to calibrate the app on our phone. All right, so the first thing you'll find in the top of your box for the GO box, you will find a literature pack to direct you to download the app from either Google Play Store or Apple Store. From there, you'll just simply type in Trimble Earthworks GO and find the app and download to your device. All right, now that we have got the app downloaded and installed on our device, we are going to start up our unit and provide power to the Go box. This will enable the Wi-Fi unit in the system. Note, the Earthworks Go box is essentially a Wi-Fi connection point, and it will start to look for the connection to a device. If there are any other apps that have been downloaded on other devices in the area, it would be wise to disconnect or disable the auto connect feature of your Wi-Fi on those devices. So the first thing that's going to show on our app when it opens up here is the dashboard. And as you can see here, we have no equipment already set up on this particular display, so therefore it's going to be all blank. And we will start by adding apps and different devices. This would have all of your previous devices stored here if you've used this app on other machines or other units. It would just be a matter of selecting the one you want and proceeding. However, as this one's not set up, we're going to go ahead and start here. Let's start by clicking on the Go box. All right, as we walk through the setup here for the Go box, it's going to go through, it's going to show us our connection point in our Wi-Fi, which is going to be Go exclamation point box, and then the serial number of the unit that this is hooking to. This password here that it is showing, if you go ahead and click on this copy password, it'll highlight your go to Wi-Fi settings. It's copying the password, stay on grade. Open up our Wi-Fi settings. It's going to automatically paste this in there if you have that set up. Otherwise, you will need to manually open it and enter the password for the connection. And at this point, we will get a connection to our Go box. So as our box here tries to connect through the Wi-Fi, we are going to watch out at the Go box on the unit and look at the top light there. It should be a green light that blinks as the Wi-Fi is being made to connect. And once it's connected, there we go, we'll get a solid green light, and we'll get a, as this is the first time set up, we'll get the application here agreement to agree to. All you have to do on here is I've read and accepted, and accept through here after reading through the terms of agreement. All right, that'll complete our connect portion of the install assistant. Now we're going to move on with the equipment portion. This is going to be for setting up what units and what power unit we're going to be using on this unit. Again, this will have a choice to be able to add multiple units, multiple pieces of equipment. This will be where we can go back in and add additional equipment later on. But first of all, we're going to select which equipment we're looking for. In this case, we're looking for the Kubota, and we're looking for the BB3084. This will also give us the opportunity here to name particular units. So, for example, if we wanted to rename our BB3084 here to a unit that we have in a fleet, we could simply open this up and bring in here and type in unit, let's say 23, and go. And now our unit is number 23. Once we have made any changes we need to here on renaming the unit, checking the model and manufacturer, we're going to hit the check button here, and it will update and complete. There we go. We now have a unit completed, and it has been added to the file. Okay, I'm going to move on here to the machine setup. This is where we'll go to add our power unit and what type of controls we have. In this case, we are looking for the Kubota, and we are looking for the CTL compact track loader. And we have the Deluxe on this particular unit, so we're going to select Deluxe. And there we go. We again get the screen to choose what we want to name our piece of equipment, same as we did with the unit. And once we've got all that information in and checked, we click on the Done, and we are set up. All right, so now we're going to check and see that our equipment is installed and that it is connecting to the Go box. We're going to do a quick test here by clicking on the test and continuing. We're going to come up with a check on the system itself. It's going to communicate with each of the individual components. Check the receivers. Click here on the receiver. And it is connected. It's checked both receivers. Now we're going to check for the ECM attachment. Connected. And all things have checked. System is now complete. And we are connected to the components. Now we're going to move on to some tests of the autos. For this function, we're going to have to make sure that the unit is started and that we have hydraulic flow. Once we get the unit started here, we're going to test the autos and click the next here, and it's going to ask us to check and make sure that our auto manual is working correctly. This is by operating the joystick, pushing the auto button on and off a few times to put it into manual and auto. It is going into auto, so everything is good. We're going to click Done here, and we'll get ready for the calibration step. All right, now for the calibration, this is going to take a few minutes. Some things that we're going to need to do to get ready is get our unit here onto flat level ground. That way we are sitting at the most level position we can get. We're going to raise the blade up so that it's off the ground, and we're going to level it here just a little bit, get it as close as possible, and then we'll get out here. We're going to need spirit level, and here we go. We're going to get out here and perform our front to back and side to side leveling. So we're now at the point in the calibration step that we've got to come back outside here, and we've got to put our level across the frame and make sure that we're level front to back and side to side. We'll start with the side to side by laying the level across the frame in line with the blade. We're going to check our level. We're going to get back in and make any adjustments that we need to make, and then we'll come back out. We'll turn our level front to back, and again we'll get back inside the cabin, make any adjustments that we need to make. Once we're completely level, we'll get back into the app and finish the calibration step. All right, now that we've got the blade leveled up, we're going to get back into the cab here, and we're going to confirm the level. Get back in the app here, and we're going to confirm the blade level. This will take a few seconds here as it goes through, and once level is found, then we will continue on with the next step by clicking the next button. Now we're going to work on setting the slope calibration. The next thing we'll need to do is lower the left side. Continue on here with our deal. We'll need to put our blade down so that the corner is touching, like so. And then we will run the calibration and confirm this point. This will take a few seconds. And when that is confirmed, we are done with that, and we can hit next. At this time, you're going to get a note talking about the slope calibration. If the Go box gets moved or is no longer being used on a particular unit, when you open this app up, it is going to ask you if it has been moved. If so, it's going to require that you go into the attachment and open up the details for that attachment and recalibrate the slope. Now that we have completed our setup and calibration for each of the units used on this app, we are going to go back out here to the dashboard. It's going to ask us for one final setup before we can run. At this point, we'll move on, and it'll give us some information on how the slope only mode runs. where we run the lift, and the autos controls the tilt. Now, as we move into the next screen here, it'll give us the option to set a manual offset slope or a manual lift. Let's start with the slope. It'll ask us what degree of percentage we want to run the slope, and we'll put in a little bit here. You test and you'll see that it'll move 2% of grade, and it'll hold that 2% of grade. When you turn the manual off, it'll go back to where it's at, and back to auto, it'll come back in. And then we'll move on here. It's going to ask us to reconnect our receivers. We'll get that done here, and then it'll go into running the height. At what grade do we want to run this? Again, we can move this up or down to be a percentage or in number of inches off of our baseline calibration. And again, testing autos, you'll see that the blade raises and lowers, and that will complete the setup. We are now ready to run our equipment. Hey, thank you for joining us today. And if you have any further questions, you can always contact your local Land Pride dealer, consult your operator's manual, or go to landpride.com. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe down below.